Under the open sunny canopy of the Carolina's wet pine savannahs grows a unique species of plants with a fascinating lifestyle, the Venus Flytrap. The Venus Flytrap, the name Macipua, is a carnivorous species of plant native to only a few places on the Atlantic coastal plain of southeastern North America. They are most likely to be found in places between low, wet, boggy pocosins and dry upland savannas. Growing on acidic, boggy, nutrient-poor soils, when it lacks from the soil, it makes up for it with its diet of animals. Each trap is in fact a part of a modified leaf, light green outside like the rest of the plant, and red inside, with the two modified lobes along a hinge at the end of the leaf making up the trap itself. The leaf base, actually a modified petiole, on a leaf stalk, does most of the photosynthesis, whereas the trap, sometimes called the lamina, catches food. The outer edges of each jaw have thin, hair-like structures called cilia, which stick outwards, waiting like triggers for movement. Despite their name, flytraps more often catch crawling insects like ants, beetles, and even millipedes and spiders. Sweet nectar glands lure unwary insects into the trap, and the rest is history. But how can a plant move quick enough to catch an insect? Inside the plant's jaws, like traps, are small hairs, and when they are triggered within a short time frame, the leaves snap shut of a second. The struggling of the insect signals to the plant that it wasn't a fluke, but an actual possible meal. The plant then tightens its grip and begins to release digestive enzymes, consuming the victim over a couple of days. Each trap can only activate and shut up to 5 or so times before the leaf dies and falls off, whether or not it was successful in catching something. When the trap opens again, if any insect remains, like some parts of the exoskeleton, it benefits the plant as an unintentional bait, attracting ants and spiders to the set and ready trap. They flower in late May through early June. A single white 5-petaled flower blooms from the top of a single 30-centimeter tall stalk. The lengthy stalk may help prevent pollinators, often bees and beetles, from being caught in the trap itself. Otherwise, during the rest of the year, their low stature and relatively small size, 20 centimeters across, may make them hard to spot. Initially, they are a low-growing plant, rarely exceeding heights of over 10 centimeters. But despite their small size and snapping lifestyle, they are perennials that grow for over 20 years. Most seeds don't fall far from the parent plant, and so they can often be seen growing in localized clusters in the wild. Of over 2 million estimated wild individuals in the 1970s, only about 300,000 to 400,000 are estimated to be left today. Less than 30% of their historic range remains. Habitat destruction and degradation is a constant threat to Venus flytrap and its neighbor's face, but oftentimes, more than other plants, it faces the threat of poaching. Its uniqueness makes it a trendy item. A lot of the Venus flytraps sold commercially are commercially grown and harvested in greenhouses, but some are poached from the wild. The pressure from poachers makes this plant, whose range is already very limited, even more at risk. Poachers use the plant's shallow roots and the tendency to grow in clusters to their benefit, often wiping out entire populations in a single poaching session. Fire suppression also threatens their existence, as is the case with many pine savanna residents and pine savanna themselves. In the case of the flytrap, their leaves, when they can photosynthesize, are not all that efficient, and so need a lot of sunlight to live. Low-intensity fires help keep the forest floor canopy open enough for them to have enough of the access to sunlight they need. Even though the surface part of the plant may burn away, subsurface rhizomes survive, and the plant lives on. Not only does the lack of occasional or semi-frequent low-intensity fires lead to insufficient light for the plant, but also an excess of tinder, which can lead to high-intensity fires, which the shallow roots of the plant will not be able to survive.